Attempt number 3. Camera keeps on overheating, turning off my video. So here we go. I've had to plug my phone in and see if it helps to my computer. Back to the books. 14th of the 2nd, February 2023, 10:33 a.m. One of the most important books to have if you're doing karate is this one. If you know what that is, you've probably figured it out. The writing is silver, so everything is reflecting pretty badly. So this is the person, Kichin Funakoshi. He died in the 1950s, 1956 or something, 59, 56, something like that. He would have been in his 90s then. I think he was born in 1860s, I think, late 1860s. And first published, first edition, 1973. Printed in obviously this is not from 73 because it has a web page, and I cannot find when this was published, since it's got a web page on it, because we didn't have the internet in 73 as far as I know. But it has his personal thoughts, his philosophies. So this is actually a second edition. Died in 1956, says his book. As I said, has his personal beliefs and philosophies about karate. And kata, because his belief was that you didn't need to create a fighting method outside of kata once you got to, because of second or third dan, because he believed that's when you became efficient at fighting through kata. So he did not encourage a fighting method outside of kata, separate. And he even demonstrated that at a university, I think, or something like that. You can look it up online, Google it, as I say to everyone. Spiritual training, self-defense training, fundamentals, chapter 2. Makuriwara is here. Him using it. Looks like he's wearing a traditional gi in Japanese clogs, as I would call them. I forget this Japanese name. But when I was 16, that's when I started using Makuriwara, because it helps you to teach control, and because if you don't use control, you just hurt your hand or break your wrist or your hand or your fingers or your joints. It teaches you how to make a fist. Which is basics. Still using some of their fists are still old school kung fu hand positions. Now they're more familiar. Now they don't even say kung fu anymore. They just say karate. This book also teaches basic stances, back stance, forward stance, ready stance we would call that. This one, feet together stance. They're teaching here basic blocks as means to catch or grappling. At the school I was with, they no longer showed these blocks like Juden Beret, Nakayuki, inner block, lower block Juden Beret, Jodan Yuki upper block, and Sotoyoku outer block. They were no longer taught as blocks, but rather as a means to grab basically your opponent, because of point sparring, you didn't score points with blocking. And in general, you have to be very efficient at being able to block with your forearms in the first place. Which takes a few years to learn, more than 2 years. What's that? Middle level, knife hand or something, ridge hand by Funagoshi. Kata. You remember that reason why he's so important, because he invented Takioko, Shodan, Nidan, Sandan. Tenon cutters. So children could train. And he did that in the 1930s. Which means he invented modern karate. He did not invent karate. Kata names and their meanings. Remember, each girl invented their own grading belt or belt grading system, and they chose what cutters you needed to learn to pass that grading for that belt system for each karate school. This isn't the most technical book, but it gives you knowledge that you need to learn patterns, and you need to learn how to turn and pivot on your feet to change direction in a kata. Just to try and go through all this whole book would take more than 20 minutes, and I am putting this up on YouTube. But as you can see, they cover a lot of katas in this. I think right up until Shodan in this particular book for this specific style. Vital points of the body. I'll show you these ones. They do some Kimite, it looks like, in here, but it looks more like self-defense than actual fighting. Yeah, it's very basic, which you would never use on the street. Yeah, it's very basic. You never use that on the street. So I have done, get my screen back on again. I have done 5 books already. This is number 6. It's gone overnight, 10 minutes. So thanks for watching. Remember, this is a guide, not an absolute. Please do your own research. Please come to your own opinions. Thank you. Hey folks, again, 15 February 2023, 10:52 AM. Short video adding to Kitchen for Negoshi video book. This is his philosophy on humility or being humble. The story he tells and that he wants you to choose, which is right. He states that 2 graders were going through their black belt. Doesn't matter if it was, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 down, I don't know. But they're going for their black belt. They both passed. One comes up to the instructors to accept his certificate, and he stands there, hands beside his legs, body, feet together, bows, and immediately walks away and runs outside, where he starts shouting out with sounds of joy, and he even announces what he accomplished of what he passed, basically bragging what he had just done, before he goes back inside. The other student who passed the black belt grade, like the first guy, these are males, stands in front of their examiners or instructors who examined him for his grading, with his arms beside his body, feet together. They give him his certificate, hand it to him. He simply grabs it slowly. He bows down at the hips, not his head, and he quietly moves backwards, still bowing. He comes to the closest wall that he can see that's vacant and sits down against it and says nothing. Which one would you choose?